My sister-in-law revealed her pregnancy before mine so it would not be overshadowed later, saying she did it because she was excited. But I was excited too. And she even revealed the gender in her announcement. Hello, I am 27 years old and currently 8 months pregnant. This story has been weighing on me for a while. I have not spoken much about it, but it has been circling around in my mind every single day. What happened was one of those things that seemed small in the moment. But over time, as I kept thinking more about it, I realized that everything about it was wrong. My husband Nick, 29 years old, has a younger sister named Dana, who is 25. Dana has always been a bit over the top, to put it mildly. She craves attention, loves to be the center of things, and does not understand boundaries very well. I do not think she has ever read the definition of that word in a dictionary. She is not mean or cruel, at least not obviously. But she is one of those people who acts first and never really apologizes. Or gives one of those apologies that just makes everything about her. Our mothers are very close friends and grew up together. Nick and I had been trying to have a baby for a little over a year. We did not share this with anyone except a couple of close friends. Because the process was stressful. And we did not want people constantly asking for updates. There were tears, disappointments, and a chemical pregnancy that left me deeply affected for weeks. So when I finally got a positive test, and the doctor confirmed everything was going well, I felt cautiously happy. Nick wanted to enjoy the moment and let people know when I was ready. He completely respected that. He said we could wait until after the first trimester to tell our families. I liked that plan. It felt safe. At that point, I was about 9 weeks along. It was still early. But we decided to tell his parents and siblings first, just them. I was not showing yet. And I made it very clear that I was not ready for the news to be public. We told them during dinner at my in-laws' house. Only his mom, dad, Dana, and Dana's boyfriend were there. Everyone seemed happy for us. And I felt good about how it all went. Then 3 days later, I woke up to my phone full of notifications. I had messages from cousins, aunts, coworkers, and even a friend from school I had not spoken to in years, congratulating me. Some people tagged me on Facebook. Others were commenting on a post Dana had made. She had uploaded a picture of a baby onesie and some tiny booties, and wrote something about becoming an aunt. She tagged Nick and me. I had not posted anything about the pregnancy at that point. I immediately called Nick, who was at work, and he had not seen it either. I started crying, because I felt like the moment I had been keeping so carefully to myself had been taken from me. I was not ready to share it. I still feared something could go wrong. And now it was out there for everyone to comment on, message me about, and speculate. I sent Dana a message, saying I did not agree with what she had done. She responded with a long message about how excited she was, how she could not contain herself, and how she thought we would be fine with it, because we had already told the family. She kept saying she was so happy, and did not think it would be a big deal. There you have it. A perfect example of doing something wrong, not apologizing, and making it all about herself. Nick was furious. He called her, and I could hear they were having a huge argument. She cried, of course, because that is what she does when people are upset with her. Then she called her mom, who called me, and told me that Dana meant well, and that I should be happy. A lot of people were excited for us, and that is what mattered. I did not say much. But after I hung up, I muted Dana on all my social media, and stopped responding to her messages. For several weeks, I felt like that special moment had been stolen from me. People kept asking questions, giving unsolicited advice, and commenting on my body. I did not even get to do the sweet announcement. I had planned for my own parents. Dana's post came first. And when I told her she had taken that moment away from me, she said I was being extremely dramatic. That word stuck with me, dramatic. As if I had not waited so long to get to this point. Fast forward a few months later. I was around 6 months pregnant. When Dana invited everyone to a barbecue at her house. It was just family, her parents, Nick and me. A few cousins. And Ben's, her boyfriend's, parents. We were all there. Hanging out, eating, chatting. Then Dana stood up in the middle of everything. And tapped a glass. Like people do at weddings. She smiled and announced that she was pregnant. I am 7 weeks along, she said. Ben and I are so happy. And we wanted to keep it a secret for a while. But we decided that this was the perfect moment. Everyone clapped and congratulated her. I smiled too. But I was stiff. That night, after most people had left, I asked Dana in private why she had not said anything earlier if she already knew. She looked at me and said that she did not want her pregnancy announcement to be overshadowed by mine. That she did not want it to be something where people would only talk about my pregnancy. She wanted her own moment. It felt like my brain short-circuited. She did not want to be overshadowed. So she kept her pregnancy a secret for weeks. And then timed her announcement to get the most attention possible. And she had the nerve to call me dramatic for wanting to wait to share mine. Suddenly, everything made sense. Dana did not post about our pregnancy because she was excited. She did it because she saw an opportunity to grab attention and took it. She did not care that I was not ready. She saw the window of opportunity closing and jumped in before it shut. And then, when it was her turn, she protected her moment like it was a golden ticket. She fully understood boundaries. At least when they applied to her. So apparently, someone had given her a dictionary after all. She just did not think it should apply to me. From that point on, everything Dana did felt calculated. She kept posting pictures of her bump, with captions that felt oddly competitive. She posted a side-by-side comparison of her belly at 7 weeks versus mine at 26. Joking that we were going to have twin cousins. People thought it was cute. I did not. She would show up to family dinners in dresses that highlighted her nearly non-existent bump and make comments about how she was going to be the fun mom. At my baby shower, she gave me a pack of diapers and then told the entire room that she was planning a minimalist parenting style, that she would not need many things because she was going to keep everything natural. She made several indirect remarks that felt like jabs. Like how she was not planning to gain much weight. Or how she was already planning a quick recovery. I did not respond to any of it. I just nodded, smiled, and moved on. But it hurt. Even when Nick confronted her again and told her she needed to calm down. She just said we were being insecure. That is her new go-to word now. Insecure. As if wanting space, privacy, and respect made me insecure. It is not even about the attention. I do not care about the number of likes or posts, or being the center of family gossip. What I cared about was not being able to enjoy my pregnancy in peace. The one person who should have been supportive, another woman going through the same thing, turned it into a weird competition. I do not even know if she realizes the damage she caused. Probably not. Dana lives in her own little world, where every moment is about her. And the worst part is, the whole family just accepts it. They say that is just how Dana is. As if that is a justification. Like she is a toddler who bumped her head as a baby and never recovered. Maybe that is the case. I do not know. Maybe she is just a spoiled person raised by parents who never wanted to take responsibility for the self-centered adult they created. Nick and I talked about distancing ourselves a little. Not cutting anyone off, just creating space. I do not want my baby to grow up in isolation. But I also do not want them to be around people who do not respect boundaries. Especially not if they treat life's important moments like a game. My due date is just a few weeks away. Dana is around 13 weeks now. I have already seen her baby name list on Instagram, along with a post asking her followers what theme she should use for her gender reveal. She tagged me in the post and said we should do a combined party. I did not respond. I just want to have my baby and start my life as a mother without worrying about who is watching, judging, or trying to outdo me. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning with Dana. She planned a small picnic to announce her pregnancy for the second time at the park, to reach more people. She said it was nothing formal, just a fun way to share the news with family and close friends. At first, I was not even going to go. I was 31 weeks pregnant, extremely swollen, barely sleeping, and always tired. But then her mother called me and said she really wanted me to come. It felt like one of those guilt-laced invitations. Like I would be a bad person if I did not go. So I went, just for an hour. What she did not know was that I had just found out the baby's gender. I had not told anyone yet. Not even our parents. I was not planning a big party or anything. I did not want another event to be misinterpreted or have the spotlight stolen. But this time I had an idea. So I baked vanilla cupcakes with white frosting and pink filling inside. I brought them in a box labeled fragile and said nothing else. I thought maybe some people would try one, see the color, and we would have a small, sweet surprise. I just did not want to wait any longer to share it with the people who were there. And yes, a part of me thought it would be nice if she felt a little of what I felt when she stole my moment. We arrived a little late. Everyone was already there. There were decorations everywhere. A photo board, matching napkins, soft music. She was dressed as if she were going to a maternity brand photo shoot. She gave a short speech, showed her ultrasound photo, talked about how long they kept it a secret, and how good it felt to finally share it. Everyone clapped. They took pictures and said congratulations, as if it were a red carpet event. After a while, she started mingling. People were grabbing snacks and sitting around chatting. It started to feel like a normal gathering again. That is when I started offering the cupcakes. I did not say anything in particular. Just smiled and said, "Enjoy." It did not take long. One of the cousins took a bite, saw the pink filling, and made a big noise. She shouted it out, and a few people turned around. Suddenly, all eyes were on the box. I smiled and nodded. When someone asked if it was mine, I said, I just found out, and wanted to share it with everyone, adding that I was very excited. Everyone clapped again. Some people came to hug me. Some looked confused, but smiled politely. Her mom seemed like she was holding her breath. She did not say anything, just stood next to me, holding my water bottle, and stayed silent. My sister-in-law did not notice at first, but when she did, I could see the realization hit her. Her smile vanished. Then she quickly walked away, her boyfriend following behind. They stayed at the edge of the park for the rest of the event. She did not return. We left about 30 minutes later, leaving the cupcakes on the table. Later that night, I received a long message some parts in all caps. She said I had ruined her day. That I did it on purpose. That I was jealous and bitter. That I always make everything about myself. That I could not let her have even one moment. That I embarrassed her. In front of her friends. And stole her joy. I responded. That I was sorry if she felt that way. But I had not done it to hurt her. I said that I was excited. Just like she had said. When she announced my pregnancy without asking. I told her. I hoped she would someday. See the double standard. She did not respond. She just left the message unread. And then blocked me on Instagram the next morning. Her mom keeps messaging my husband. Saying she is upset. And wants an apology. His father has not said anything. Update 1. It has been 2 weeks since the gender reveal drama. Things have been awkward but quiet for a while. There was no direct contact. Just indirect comments passed through relatives. Then last week, I received a message from her mother. Just to let me know that she was in the hospital for observation. Due to some minor pregnancy issues. No, it was nothing serious. Just some bleeding and stress. The baby is fine. She is fine. But of course, that was not the focus she wanted. The next thing I knew, people started reaching out to me. With strange accusations or messages like, she has been under a lot of pressure lately. Or, she has not been able to rest properly since all of this happened. Or, that is why women need support, not competition. Later that night, I received a long message from her boyfriend. He said they were not blaming anyone directly. But that the timing of everything that happened had been really hard for her. He said, what happened at the announcement picnic had really affected her. And that stress is not good for a pregnant woman. He used vague phrases like emotional environment and lack of family harmony. Basically, he was trying to make me feel guilty without saying it outright. Honestly, it was insane. I had done nothing after the cupcakes. I stayed quiet. I did not post anything about it. I did not ask anyone to take sides. But now I was being treated as if I had caused a medical emergency. Just by showing up with pink cupcakes. Her mother started messaging my mom. Saying things like, we should all be focusing on the baby's health. Not egos and rivalry. Then someone else said to me, maybe you should apologize. Not because you were wrong. But just to keep the peace. To help everyone move forward. I am 33 weeks pregnant. I am about to explode. I can barely tie my shoes. And now they want me to carry the guilt. For something I did not cause? At a recent family dinner, some people gave me side glances. Some did not speak to me at all. One aunt even approached my husband and asked if I had been more emotional lately. As if she was trying to diagnose me as unstable. Meanwhile, she stayed home and posted a photo of her hospital bracelet with the caption, trying to get through all this. All of this bothers me because I went through so much just to get pregnant in the first place. And she had no problem causing me stress. Not because of the reveal itself, but because I did not want to tell everyone until the pregnancy was further along. I have not received any message from her. I find it ironic that some people think I should apologize when she never did. And she was the one who absolutely needed to apologize. Because my pregnancy was high risk. And hers was not. If anyone put her pregnancy at risk, it was herself. By turning it into a full-blown competition. Now the family is planning a baby shower. Just for her. To cheer her up. And they are already making comments about how everyone should behave properly this time. and how we should avoid unnecessary surprises. I have not decided if I will go. Honestly, I just want to enjoy the last few weeks of my pregnancy in peace. But that does not seem possible. When someone keeps acting like my mere existence hurts her. Update 2. Hello. The invitations for her baby shower were sent out a few days ago. She used one of those fancy online invitation websites and sent it to everyone in the family and some mutual friends. I opened the invitation expecting the usual theme, dress code, registry link. But near the end of the invitation, there was a strange line, written in italics, that said something like, "For the comfort of the expectant mother, this will be a child-free and pregnancy-free event." A pregnancy-free event, at a baby shower. That did not even make sense. I sent a message to one of our cousins to ask if she had received the same thing. She had. She thought it might have been a customized invite just for me. She also found it strange. That cousin is not pregnant, so she did not think much of it. But the message was clear. I was not welcome. No one else in the family is pregnant right now. It was obviously about me. She did not mention my name. But everyone knew. It was her way of saying I could not come. Without saying it directly. I guess she thought that by making it a general rule, it would appear like a neutral boundary and not a personal attack. A few hours later, her best friend posted a story about how some people just cannot handle not being the center of attention, and that true queens protect their energy during special moments. She did not mention anyone by name, but the timing was too perfect. Later that day, my mom called me and asked if I had seen the invitation. I told her yes. She was already upset, but trying to stay neutral. She said she had talked to her about it, and that she claimed it was about her anxiety and wanting to remain calm. Apparently, seeing other pregnant women makes her nervous and distracts her. That was her excuse. She also told my mom that she did not want people comparing bumps or asking questions that would put pressure on her. It was all about preserving her peace, or something like that. I am sure that if I had not done the gender reveal, none of this would be happening. More family members started reaching out to me privately. Some were confused. Others clearly embarrassed. A few asked if I was going to go. I just told them I was not invited. That was it. One person actually messaged the host to ask if the rule was real, and they confirmed that yes. It was a firm boundary to protect the guest of honor. The thing is, I had not even planned to go. I did not want to be around more drama. But being told that I could not go because I was pregnant hit me differently. As if my body was now some kind of threat to her spotlight. As if being pregnant at the same time as her was a crime. Now it is the new topic. In family group chats, people are whispering, wondering why she is acting this way. Some family members have quietly decided not to go. Some will go, but think the whole thing is ridiculous. Some are still on her side, thinking she is just trying to protect her mental health. I have stayed on the sidelines. I have not responded, commented, or posted anything. I am focusing on getting ready for the baby. But part of me is tired of always being the one who has to swallow the insult and move on. If I had done something like this, the entire family would have dragged me. Update 3. Last weekend, the family had a brunch at my husband's aunt's house. It was a small gathering, mostly just close family. She was there with her husband, sitting quietly. I kept my distance at first, trying to avoid any unnecessary drama. focusing on catching up with a few people, and trying to eat something decent, while balancing my very pregnant body on a chair that was far too small. Everything was going fine. Until one of the cousins mentioned a parenting support group he had recently joined, and how helpful it had been. Somehow, that turned into a conversation about postpartum support, and how important it is to uplift new mothers. Then someone mentioned how some people in the family had not been very empathetic lately. No one was called out directly, but the atmosphere shifted immediately. She rolled her eyes and muttered something under her breath. I did not hear what she said, but someone else did, and asked her to repeat it. That is when things started to escalate. She immediately became defensive. She said she was tired of being painted as the villain, that everyone always pampered me, and acted like I never did anything wrong. She claimed she had to deal with so much stress because people would not let her have her moment. Some people looked uncomfortable. A few tried to change the subject, but others did not let it go. They looked at her and told her she needed to stop acting like the whole world revolved around her pregnancy, that everyone had tried to be kind and understanding, even when she was being passive-aggressive, excluding people, and making everything about her. It was what many of us had been thinking, but were too polite to say. They said it was not normal to ban another pregnant woman from a baby shower, especially your own family, just to make yourself feel more special. That posting indirect jabs online, twisting the narrative, and turning every event into a competition instead of a celebration, was not just petty. It was cruel. And then the most brutal part, that her behavior was rooted in jealousy, and everyone could see it. I did not say a word. She looked completely shocked, like no one had ever said no to her in her life. Her boyfriend looked uncomfortable, but he did not defend her. A few people nodded quietly. One of her uncles tried to calm things down, saying everyone was just tired and emotional. But it did not work. She ended up leaving early. She did not say goodbye, or give any kind of polite excuse. She just grabbed her bag and stormed out, followed by her boyfriend. After she left, the energy in the room changed. A few people came up to me afterward and told me they were glad someone had finally said something, that they had noticed how she had been treating me, and they did not think it was right. I just nodded and thanked them. I did not want to add fuel to the fire. Later that night, she made a post about how some people cannot handle seeing others happy, and how some family members are snakes in disguise. She got a few likes and supportive comments from her usual circle, but most of the family ignored it. Since then, she has not directly contacted anyone. My mom said she is probably still angry and trying to act like she was attacked. I have not spoken to her. I do not plan to anytime soon. I am busy preparing for the baby. And honestly, there was a little satisfaction in seeing someone finally call her out, after months of weird games and silent jabs. Update 4. It has been almost 3 full months since I last posted. But I hope you will forgive me, because I have been busy being a mom. My daughter was born healthy and strong, and that has been the only thing on my mind these past months. All the drama, my sister-in-law's nonsense, and everything that happened during that time has faded into the background. My mind was in full mom mode. And my sister-in-law? She was in the 4th layer of background noise, if not further behind. But believe me, my sister-in-law has still been doing ridiculous things. She has not given birth yet, so she still has time for her usual emotional tantrums and cries for attention. Although she has been calming down as her due date approaches, and the swelling kicks in, At least she has stopped posting photos and things. Maybe because she is huge now. And it is no longer cool to do so. But before she calmed down, she had her gender reveal. A highly produced video announcing she was having a boy. And even that was turned into a form of competition. She highlighted in the post that she was giving her mom a grandson. As if that made it more important than my daughter. Another brilliant idea she had was to take up sports, like boxing and such, while heavily pregnant, to prove that women can be mothers and do everything at once. Maybe that is true. But do not start strenuous physical activity in your third trimester, when you have never done anything like that in your life before. My sister-in-law has stayed busy, trying to be the center of attention. And I have stayed busy, trying to be the best mother I can be. Different priorities. Different focus. Different goals. Update 5. I told myself it was time to relax and move on with my life. Maybe even forget about posting on Reddit altogether. Because my daughter was already here. And once my sister-in-law's baby arrived, there would be no more drama. No one warned me that when her baby was born, there would actually be more drama. But this drama, this one is the kind I can watch from afar. Because I am not involved. Let me give you some context. Otherwise this would not make sense. My sister-in-law has a Caucasian skin tone. Her boyfriend Ben does not. I do not know why they never got married. Not even when they were having a child. But they lived together. Ben expected his child to have a skin tone somewhere between the two of them. But the baby was born even whiter than my sister-in-law. Well, that is not hard. The baby has not had time to get as much sun as she has. I do not know if it is even possible that Ben is the father of that baby. But at the very least, it made him suspicious. This led Ben to request a paternity test, because he thought something felt off. And the result, the origin of all the new drama, is that the baby is not his. And Ben not only kicked her out of the house. My sister-in-law is now living with her parents. But he also made a post tagging her directly. And unlike her passive-aggressive posts, where she never named names and just hinted at things, this one was aggressive. He called my sister-in-law a cheating bitch who had slept with some white dude. And other things that I think would be highly censored by Reddit. He called her racist for allegedly wanting a baby with someone who had the same skin color as her. And said a bunch more. What shocked me most was seeing some relatives liking his post. It was not one of those "we decided to separate after years of happiness and will remain friends" announcements. It was more like, "My wife cheated on me with a Nazi. And I hope she rots." Yes. There has been a lot of drama for my sister-in-law and my husband's family. My husband simply said, "I am tired of this bullshit," and blocked his sister on social media. I have stayed away. I do not want to get pulled into that vortex of drama surrounding my sister-in-law. Still, sometimes I think to myself, there's your attention, bitch. And that thought makes me smile.